Today's the most important day of your life. All right, I'm gonna shoot you straight. You got tough decisions to make, but there's really only one right answer. So we've told you a lot, but we haven't told you everything. And you've been pretty honest with us, and I appreciate that. But there's a lot more to this than what we've told you, what we've let on.
This is part 2 of Henry Tenon's August 18th, 2022 police interview. In the first part, detectives spent much of the conversation asking about Henry's background, his daily routine, his vehicles, and the blue Ford F-15. Oh, they were interested in. Up to this point, they had not fully explained why they had brought him in. That changes here. When the detectives return to the room, they tell Henry that the situation is much bigger than the traffic and firearm charges he was initially facing. They tell him that other people are being interviewed at the same time, that his vehicle is involved, and that investigators have been watching his movements for months. From this point forward, the interview becomes much more direct. Detectives begin pressing Henry about what happened on the night Jared Bridegan was killed, and repeatedly tell him that this is his opportunity to explain his role. A note about the footage. Several portions of the officially released recording have no audio. I have removed only those silent sections so the interview can be followed without long gaps. Apart from those portions, I have not removed or rearranged any of the available interview footage shown in this video. What follows is the second and final part of Henry Tenon's recorded interrogation.
So here's what's up. Today's the most important day of your life. All right, I'm gonna shoot you straight. You got tough decisions to make, but there's really only one right answer. So we've told you a lot, but we haven't told you everything. And you've been pretty honest with us, and I appreciate that. But there's a lot more to this than what we've told you, what we've let on. So there's other people down here that we're interviewing at the same time about a case. It's way bigger than some traffic charges.
Yeah, I don't figure that much out already.
Okay,
I just don't know what.
Okay, well, you're going to know in a second. And these people, so this is a choice you get to make. You're at what they call a crossroads in your life, okay? There's two paths you can take. One goes this way, one goes this way. One can lead to Henry still being Henry, out living a life potentially one day, because we know what Henry's all about, and he's not somebody that's going around doing violent things, doing vicious things to people. But somehow Henry got caught up in something. You got put in the middle of something, and then now it's spiraling out of control because these other people involved, because this is your vehicle involved that you're in, are going to point the finger at you. And they've already started to do that because no one wants to go to prison for the rest of their life. Nobody. So, Henry, listen to me. Listen, just listen. I know this is a lot to take in. Okay. But I need you to tell us everything you can about what happened that night, and I need you to be honest. And so you need to tell us right now. We know the answers, like I told you, and I'm not lying to you. We know the answers to these questions we ask you, and I'm trying to determine, because if...
Yeah.
Okay. So...
Or whatever, something similar to that.
Okay.
I have heard that as well.
I can believe that. I'm willing to believe that, and I certainly, based on what I know about you, that's and what we believe, that's what happened. But you have to tell us.
9 o'clock at night, I'm doing the bed.
Okay.
I feel bad about this line of question.
Okay. Well, here's what's up. I know you go to work every day. We've been looking at you for months. We know your driving pattern. I knew you picked up people and went to the methadone clinic every day. You leave your house 4:45, 5 o'clock every day. Hell, yesterday you left at what, 5?
Yeah.
It was like
That's
right
why,
early.
That's why this morning I couldn't believe that I was speeding in which I usually don't. Anyway.
Right.
So you screwed up our timeline this morning because we've been tracking you for a long time, and you left a little early yesterday, so we had to bump it up.
Yeah, because they've been cutting into my time to get to work on time. I'm taking them to the methadone clinic, and it take them a whole hour and a half before they can get in there and get treated under this new system that they started using. And usually we get there at 5:30 and be out of there by 6 or 5:45.
What?
Sometimes, most of the time, I try to be to work at 6:30 or 6:45. Do I have a conscience?
Yeah. Do you have a conscience?
I think so.
I think so too.
As good as I do with people, I
You've already told me you don't let anyone use your
I
truck
don't.
except Jerry.
Jerry, correct.
And he's only used it twice.
Right.
And both times was when you were at work.
Right.
So,
I witnessed the death of my uncle when I was 5. I can understand that.
good. Now we're getting somewhere. How'd your uncle die?
He was shot to death.
Where at? Where were you at?
At home.
You were home?
His home.
How old were you?
5 or 6.
What happened?
I don't know.
You were too young to remember all the details?
All I know is he was shot.
Did you see him get shot?
I saw him fall.
You saw him fall to the ground? Did you hear the gunshots?
Yes.
And did you rush to him?
Not immediately,
Eventually?
because he said, get down as he was falling. And that's what I did.
And then after it was quiet, you realized he wasn't moving or talking?
Yep.
I do. I built my career on respect. I may have came in here and bullshit you a little bit, but I've been nothing but respectful to you. Knowing the stakes that are in play here, I've been respectful to you. You know why? Because I know you're when I say we've talked to people and I haven't heard anything, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If you were some shit turd sitting in here, this would have not have went the way it went. I wouldn't have sat here and brought you coffee, got to know you a little bit. I went right at you with what a piece of shit you are. I know you ain't that guy.
Yeah, they opened on everything with me and my damn driver license and trying to get them shit back and all that.
Well, all that's true, though.
Trumpet all this mess up.
Listen, everything I said about that is true. There's opportunities for that. There's programs that help get the license back. All of that is true.
That is 100% true. There's a program through the state attorney's office.
Yep.
Where they'll work
I've
with
done.
you
I've assisted people in that process before that did right by me. They actually help pay the fines and the fees. Everything I told you about that program is true. There's opportunities for that.
But it ain't gonna make a damn bit of good for you.
Let's
in
see,
jail for the
prior
murder.
to 2011, I was a habitual violator.
Mm-hmm.
Went through the process and got my driver's license back. I think it was the end of that year, 2012, 2013, December 2013. I go up and work in Savannah, Georgia.
Go where? Vidalia?
Savannah.
Oh, Savannah.
Savannah. Yeah. Give a female a ride home from Garden City into Savannah. Coming back out of Savannah, headed back to Garden City. I get pulled over for speeding.
Mm-hmm.
All right, damn, how the hell I'm speeding when I'm slowing down, waiting on, trying not to jump in that 80 mile an hour traffic.
Right.
And get a DUI, because couldn't dispute it, I had been drinking.
Right.
Right. Intoxicated, no. But that part don't matter.
Right.
You've been drinking.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't feel drunk, but you were over the legal limit. You felt like you had all your faculties, but it doesn't take much to blow over the limit.
Right.
Right.
Lose my license again. I said, well, I'm not a habitual, so I'm going to have to go through on a whole bunch of stuff. 3 months after sitting in jail over there and finally getting to see a judge after 3 months. I finally get released with probation, DUI, school stipulation, defensive driving court, with a few other stipulations behind that, such as the SR 22A insurance for one. Then COVID-19 kicked in, which really money was already slow in the first place, trying to live and everything.
Right.
Made it worse.
Right.
Now here it is, 2022, and here comes this bullshit.
It's always something. Life comes at you fast, man. Especially when you get to our age. You're not much older than I am. You got me by a few years. But every day I wake up with there's another problem I got. Back, had 4 screws put in my neck. Spinal cord was flattened. I've had all kinds of shit. Lost all the muscle on my right side. It atrophied away. I'll never get it back. Neuromuscular atrophy. It's always something. Ain't nothing we can do for us right now. We're at that point. We've lived our life. You know what I'm saying? We've had a good life, though. I know you've had a good life. You've had some hiccups in the road. We all have. Everyone's got a different level of hiccup. But in between, there's some good times.
True. Still have had some good times.
Who?
I said still have had some good times.
Yep. And that's
why I keep doing good for those that they don't appreciate me no damn way.
Well, that's why we need to get through this. We need to work our way through this, Henry, because there still can be good times. We don't got to go out like this. You know what I'm saying? And we can do some good. That's the only reason I do this job. Talking to you right now, I don't get any extra money. Whatever happens here, I don't get extra paycheck. I don't get a bump in my paycheck. I don't get an extra couple hours off. I don't get to go home early. I don't get jack shit out of it. You know what I get? It's going to sound corny as hell. It's the only reason I do this, because I see some god-awful shit. I see the worst shit. I see shit I'll never unsee in my life. I still wake up thinking of some of the things I said when you don't care about going out and seeing 2 gangbangers that shot at each other and one took a round, but you go out and see those gangbangers that killed a 6-year-old child that was swinging on a swing set when they missed. I'll never unsee that. Mother drives her car into a lake and drowns her children. I'll never unsee that.
Okay. I heard stories of that one.
So there's things so we're past all that. You know what I mean? We still can have some good days ahead, but we've had a chance to live our life, and this is some horrible ass shit we're talking about. But guess what we can control? What's next?
Every day.
That's what we get to control, Henry. What's next? How am I remembered? How do I want to go out of this world? A man of character, a man who did what's right, or just some chump? Because that's what we're being played for right now, is chumps. We ain't no chumps, Henry. I know you ain't no chump. When I said respect, I meant it. I give you the same respect you give me. You've been respectful to me. I haven't raised my voice at you. Haven't you raised your voice at me? We've disagreed. We know we're not on the same page, but we both know we can get there. We both know that. I know you.
Ain't nothing else I can give you. And I think I need an attorney.
Stand up and then put your hands behind your back for me. them together like you're praying, sir.
Palms
Put
together.
Put your palms together. Palms together like you're praying. With the handcuffs, it's easier that way for you.
Like this. Can you put your palms together?
There you go.
I'm just gonna double lock them so they don't tighten on you. You can step out this way.
Henry Tenon did not confess during this interview. After hours of questioning, he told detectives that he had nothing else to give them and that he believed he needed an attorney. At that point, the interrogation effectively came to an end. What investigators learned after this interview would become part of a much larger case involving Henry Tenon, Mario Fernandez Saldana, and Shanna Gardner. The additional recordings and evidence connected to that investigation will be covered separately on this channel.